沉入血，压完就没烟。生痛花开枝扑灭，最难辨。泥月荒凉中和解，不负于暗夜。千山万岳，有多少头岁月分裂？一山积雪，长路行遍，情非草时，岂能无根无言？纵横三界，搀扶错肩。曾也是地上仙，我非黄切，悲绪苦相思也杀人间。火光青天自怜，长风摇荒天。曾也是垂阶千语，谁是月？足下世间三千劫，心牵仗剑当先。我与多为良善，余生尽付虚言。情若爱多如烟，模糊就眉眼。世人知道涓流水未能辨。泥月荒凉中相见，惊醒于少年。月北风轻，这支杨柳从此不眠。身如雷渊，心如黄泉，万里重云破开提灯照夜。三魂七魄恢复眉间，曾也是地上仙，我非黄切，悲绪苦相思也杀人间。火光青天自怜，长风摇荒天。曾也是垂阶千语，谁是月？足下世间三千劫，心牵醉灵欢颜。我与多为良善，余生尽付虚言。当梦也吞眼间，为是为缘，情就难言未完的娇艳。火光青天自怜，长不忍执念。大梦也素眉千语，谁是月？足下世界三千来，此界至残破剑，听我能何人间？携手共赴长夜。
Yeah, let's get rid of that for a second. Did not realize it was going to open that straight the hell up. What is up, guys? How are you all doing? I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Yeah, we are back for more Urha. And we started it off, instead of with our normal song, with the Urha song from the video game. Well, mobile game. A type of video game, but yeah, mobile game. You guys ready for the knives? I don't think I am. I can watch this time. Lovely Morg69. Glad to see you here. But yeah, Kagome Swan, I don't think I'm ready for the lion knives. Lily Her, thank you so much. More May Hunchway. Hell yeah, Arsenic Grin. It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun getting to know May Hunchway. With his bright gold hair and his bright green eyes. Oh man. He sounds so sexy. It sounds like he's going to be a character we're going to enjoy. Even if he does fuck around. How dare you silence me? What's up, Ghost Shade Scatterer? Yeah, I had to do it. We had to play the official song from Urha for this first. I considered doing the fan song, and then I was like, wait, there's one official song when it comes to Urha. Well, technically there's two from the game. But yeah, we haven't got any other kind of official song just yet, just a whole bunch of fan songs. I was playing Genshin when I got the notification. You can do that at the same time. What's up, Miwaru69? Hello, Q. Hearing the notification for a read-through just made my day. I'm glad to hear it, White Lotus39. Thank you so much for joining us. Did you saw him before? He's so sexy. We had him introduced at the end of the final chapter. He, like, appeared in 95. And then we had Mung Mung running up to him and being like, you damn mutt, how dare you? Why would they send you? As if he didn't need whatever help he could fucking get. Oh, it was great. So yeah, we've had his description. I've never seen any art of this guy. Like, I feel like I would 100% remember if I ever saw a Shansha setting character with bright blonde hair. I've seen some characters with white hair, never with blonde hair, never with green eyes. Yeah, I don't think I've seen any fan art of Mei Han Shui. I don't think I've ever seen any official art, which is kind of wild. Because yeah, when I've seen the art that came out with like the Chinese release of the novels, it was mainly focused on the main couple. They even had the ghost girl. They had Luo Shanshan. Luo Shanshan? I think it's Luo Shanshan. But they had like art of her. They had art of the parents. Meng Meng, obviously, and Shimei. But yeah, I don't think they ever did Mei Han Shui. Maybe because he only appears right at the end of the first volume. Finally caught a stream, Ku. I hope you're doing well. Thank you, Capital O Chapter. Yeah, we're doing good so far. Her official song is so good. I really like it. Hope everyone will have an amazing day. I'm sure we're going to cry our eyes out. Whether you consider that amazing or terrible, kind of up to you. I think it'll be a good time. Don't look him up, but he's sexy. Okay, so looking him up would be a spoiler. Got ya. I bet he's actually ugly. I bet that's the spoiler. Mei Han Shui, it's like, oh, he's got bright blonde hair, gorgeous green eyes. And then it turns out 50 chapters in, he's been using a spell this whole time, and he actually looks like a decrepit, tiny little cripple character. Oh, no. Did Shen Qingqiu have green eyes, or is it Fanon? I don't remember him having green eyes. If they ever described that, I did not notice it at all. I don't remember. Well, Lord Binghe has red eyes after the time skip, but I'm not sure about Shen Qingqiu. Lying down because I had a headache and trying hard not to fall asleep because I knew you'd be streaming around this time if you did. I'm so sorry. I saw this notification, my headache went away, and I woke right up. Oh, that's fucking awesome. In which case, we will not waste too much time. In the Donghua, he has gray eyes. Really? I kind of remember their eyes all being really dark in the Donghua. Weird, except for Mobe Jun's. Mobe Jun has like bright blue eyes. I didn't really notice anybody else's eyes in it. Each volume's got character cards, so I'm sure Mei Han Shui will have one in the future. Yeah, he should. He definitely should in book 2. I'm sure he's a much more important character in that one. After the read-through, can I tag you in some fan art? Hell yeah, I'd love to see it. Don't be sorry, it's only 4:30 p.m. here. Yeah, but naps are important. FYI, the session tomorrow is a festival. You're doing so many recently, Hivesha. I will have to... Yeah, I still haven't read the last session. I read the final bunch of sessions right before. The day after you sent me the new session after the stream this week. Yeah, so I haven't read that one yet. Shen Qingqiu doesn't have green eyes in the book. I didn't think so. But that's interesting still, that he has bright gray eyes in the novel. 2 streams in a row? It can't be. Happy to be here. Can't wait for potential knives. Yeah. Let's jump into it and see just how stabbed we're going to be. It should be a fun time. We'll turn that down, but that is definitely setting the tone because I'm imagining there's going to be much pain. Much pain in this chapter, so we'll see. We do one every Sunday. I feel like... Oh, you just sent the write-up late for me then. Ah, okay. Because, yeah, it felt like 2 came immediately in a row. That's fine. I think his eyes are pretty, but I'm pretty sure Shen Qingqiu has gray eyes there. I do love the green eyes, Fanon. Green eyes would be great. It would match his whole look, the whole Jade immortal kind of thing. It'd be great. Did you skip the part where the boys seduced the lance? No, I did not. I saw a brief introduction to the fact that somebody's trying to schmooze their way in with Su Shi, so that should be fun. Anyway, chapter 96. This venerable one's hatred born in this life. It was no wonder that Ye Wangxi despised him. This Mei Han Shui was that Da Shishong from the Peach Blossom Spring that got countless female cultivators to coo and squabble jealously over him. Nang Gong Su had initially thought that the new arrival was some powerful character, but it only turned out to be some pretty boy that relied all on looks. All of his interest vaporized in an instant, and he turned back to the battle at hand. I respect that. Nang Gong Su is just like instantly agreeing with Ye Wangxi. It's like, wait, he lets women fight for him? Fuck that guy. I'm moving on. Back to the battle. Fuck these guys. Mei Han Shui glanced at Shui Mok. I feel like I need to look up this guy's name. I don't think it's Han Shui, is it? It's probably like Han Shi. Mei Han Shui. Good. Yep, no spoilers. I'm not reading anything. I'm just grabbing the Chinese. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Oh, it is Xue. Meihan Xue. Xue. Okay. You weren't doing too bad. Meihan Xue glanced at Xue Meng. I know that's Xue Meng too. Meihan Xue glanced at Xue Meng, a little exasperated, but paid him no mind as he lowered his brows and his fingers danced over the strings of the pipa. Hearing the notes, 100 cultivators of Tashui Palace spread out in all directions. Guqin Division, play the song of Al-Qaid. Pipa Division, perform the magic-canceling dance. At his command, the ensemble changed its tune immediately. Countless strong, fast-paced chords gathering in the air into a resounding refrain that scattered the clouds. Immediately, all the demonic fiends stopped fighting, standing in place instead with their necks outstretched and hollow stares on their faces. What is all the no? Oh god, what did I do? Good day, my god, I caught one. What's up, Doodles here? It's lovely to have you here again. We're safe? We're safe, guys. Oh yeah, no, I didn't spoil myself. It's all good. I was very careful. I was not going to click on the link. The aesthetic is gorgeous. Yeah, Shen Qingqiu's look is great. Working on a Shen Qingqiu cosplay, might have to be staring in too many pictures of him. I mean, you got to do it. It's for work. It's to figure out how his costume looks. So, yeah, only way to do it. It's a good excuse too. He looks so damn good. Not as good as Luo Binghe though. I love me some curly hair. Sighs and relief. Don't worry about it. We're fine. Seeing this, Liu Wuxin remembered that those of Kunlun Tashui Palace were not only masters of music, but also knew something of barrier mending. Delighted, he tilted his head up and yelled, "Esteemed nephew, Mei, would you happen to know how to mend the heavenly rift?" Paying no heed to that gross, esteemed nephew address, Meihan Xue answered, "The heavenly rift of the infinite house is beyond my abilities." Oh, this... Liu Wuxin's face paled. Then he swept his sleeve and let out a long sigh. Han Shui, what about the barrier around Butterfly Town? Would you be able to hold that down? Oh, the speaker was Xue Jungyong. My bad. Sushang Peak and Tashui Palace have always been on good terms, so Meihan Xue, seeing a familiar senior, bowed courteously before answering. I can try. Great. Xue Jungyong clapped his hands together. Go guard the barrier in the 4 directions. Make sure the demons don't get out and call Yuhong back. Yuhong, Elder? Yao Guang, English name Al-Qaid, or Benetnash, leftmost star in the Big Dipper. Oh, he has a fucking sick courtesy name. They're not related by blood. Chinese culture is just really casual about referring to people who aren't blood related to you as brother, sister, aunt, nephew. Okay. It's just respect. They're not actually related. I figured when he was so disgusted by it. It's fine. It's fine. Even not clicking that was very dangerous. Oh, that could have been bad. It's fine. I didn't read anything. Respectful Meihan Xue. We love it. As long as he's respectful to Xue Jingyong. We don't need him to be respectful to the other douchebag. It's fine. Call to stream. Yay. What's up, Magical Amber? Lovely to have you here. Oh, and Sophia Bertuola. Thank you so much for following. Welcome to the House of Copper Hounds, and it's lovely to have you. Who the hell is this? Not Meihan Xue. Probably Xue Jingyong. Ah, my damn memory. Forgot you've never met Yuhong before. Don't worry, you'll know him when you see him. Just look for the person holding down the barrier right now. Got it. Meihan Xue, calm and collected, flew off towards the edge of the town with a tilt of his sword like a shooting star upon the wind. Nanggong Su knocked 3 arrows onto his bow and shot in 3 directions at once. Between the thrumming of the bowstring, he saw Meihan Xue shoot past with speed and grace, while the rest of the people from Tashui Palace continued to suppress the enemy with musical chords. Surprised in spite of himself, he asked Ye Wangxi, "This person seems quite capable after all. Why'd you call him a pretty boy who relies on women to do the fighting?" Ye Wangxi was baffled as well, but the fiends were moving slowly right now, presenting an ideal opportunity to take them out. So he didn't waste time before trying to figure it out, replying only, "It seems he didn't go all out against me back then," before turning back to the enemy and saying no more. Yeah, I think he just wanted to flirt with you more than anything. Let's be fair here, yo. Just look for the absolute beast with the great ass. Which one? There's a lot of characters in this novel. in this battle right now that I'm just looking at respectfully. Very respectfully, because they could all kill me. However... Are we only finishing book 1 or are we going to start book 2? We will see. For now, we're definitely finishing book 1, since there's only 2 chapters left. We may continue, we may not. It will depend on how we're feeling, how hungry I am, how it ends with book 1. If it's a great ending, then we'll definitely stop there. If it's a terrible ending, we'll be more conflicted about it. Not because he's gorgeous or anything. Exactly. It's not like I was just looking at you because you're so pretty. No. Yo, Kuro Tenshi, lovely to have you here, and I hope you're having a good day. 4 of the 10 great sects were now present, making the fight against the Heavenly Rift somewhat less of a desperate struggle, but still harrowing nonetheless. Although the fiends currently on the ground were frozen by the cords of Tashuya Palace, more and more oozed out from the bloody eye connecting to the ghost realm by the minute, shrieking and howling. The force from Tashuya Palace was positioned in the air, but couldn't defend themselves while playing, so the demonic fiends rushed towards the Pippa and Cuchallain players between the clouds. They had no choice but to divert a portion of their force to play the Song of Defense, instantly weakening the Song of Suppression and Exorcism, and allowing the masses of fiends on the ground to resume their frenzied rampage. Even worse, as the door to the Ghost Realm opened wider still, some high-level demons consumed enough of the mortal realm's yang energy to break free of their fetters and cross into this world as well, dragging their chains and shackles behind. Were nothing like the mind of fiends from before. They were possessed of both their corpse and resentful soul in one, and were much more powerful and vicious, far beyond what the average cultivator could handle alone. Instantly, some stragglers were slammed over in one strike, their chests skewered right through by bony claws. With a wet gushing sound, blood spattered all about as the high-level demons ripped the spiritual energy-filled hearts from those cultivators and bit greedily into them, fresh blood squelching out, streaming down the rotten flesh of their faces. God damn, I had to change the music on that one because that's a straight-up fucking massacre going on. This got incredibly dark very suddenly. Like, hello. What's up, Drama Lover? Lovely to see you here. Hope you're having a good time. We only just started? Yeah, we're only like... I think this is the end of the first page, so you're good. I was napping, my bro called me and woke me up, and then I saw the notification. Never thought I'd thank him for interrupting my nap. In it. Perfect luck. Welcome, and it's lovely to have you here. Trying hard to concentrate on the chapter, but I keep getting distracted by your new design. Oh. That is the point. You are supposed to enjoy the design. I can't quite get him to move properly. I need to, like, properly lift my eyebrows. A lot to do an eye wiggle. But he's sexy. My notification was just now. I'm sorry to hear that, Itchy B. Welcome. You've literally only missed one page. It's all good. It's all good. Violent violence? Seriously violent violence. The canines? Oh, yeah. He's everything I like in a man in one. This design is perfect. Mouths covered in blood and dangling with pieces of flesh, the demons grew even stronger, plunging into the crowd and seeking their next meal like beasts of prey. Instantly, all hell broke loose. Xue Zhongyong shouted, "Set arrays and form groups! Stay together and don't run off!" But some had already lost their head to fear, running about in hysterics, screaming and crying as they fled every which way. The stench of blood in the air grew stronger. The demonic fiends amassed like the tide, as did the corpses of the dead. Letting fly arrow after arrow, Nangong Su was going all out, when a hanged ghost with its blood-red tongue dangling from its mouth rushed in and latched onto him, raising its claw and going straight for his chest. Liu Wangxi was too far away when he turned and saw, all color draining instantly from his usual composed face. "Ah-si! Gongzi!" Oh shit, Song Qiao Tong? Shocking. In the nick of time, Song Qiao Tong sprung over with her sword and stabbed the hanged ghost in the arm. But she's never even killed a person before, much less a ghastly fiend like this, so she let go right after in fear, the long sword falling to the ground with a clang. The hanged ghost lunged out at her in rage, and Nangong Su switched bow for sword to block in front of her as he yelled, "Get away from here! Hurry!" Song Qiao Tong's eyes glistened with tears, saying, "Qiao Tong's life was saved by Rufeng's sect. This one cannot possibly leave. Nang Gong-su had little experience in dealing with women, but seeing her delicate demeanor and that determination in her eyes, he felt a squeeze in his heart and couldn't help cursing under his breath as he called, Ye Wang-shi! Ye Wang-shi, get the hell over here! Look after her for me! Ye Wang-shi arrived covered in blood, grime, and filth staining his handsome face. He grabbed Song Qiaotong by the arm and said harshly, Go find Qin Shishong and stick with him. I'm not leaving. I could still help, she pleaded. Young master, I want to stay by your side. Ye Wang-shi, make sure you protect her. Ye Wang-shi's face darkened immediately. Being the upstanding gentleman that he was, he rarely ever showed such anger on his face. Nang Gong-su. The syllables trembled broken. You must have lost your mind. Then, paying no more mind to the other two, he took hold of his sword and vaulted away, back into the surging masses of undead. Yo! This is fucking sick! This is serious drama! Nang Gong-su is straight up falling in love with Song Qiaotong. He's like, damn, she wants to stay and fight? Okay, Ye Wang-shi, you're now her bitch god. You may guard her. This is all you can do. Oh man, that's so funny. Oh man. And Ye Wang-shi actually seems genuinely hurt by that. Is genuinely like, you've lost your mind. For a girl. A woman. How could you? Just remembered Song Qiaotong cries golden tears. Oh, I forgot about that too. We had an interesting discussion about her bodily fluids at one point. Not now, Song Qiaotong. I know, right? Ye Wang-shi. Fuck Song Qiaotong. I think that's the problem. Nang Gong-su is like, fuck Song Qiaotong. Kind of in love with her now. Rose Jen 8675 resubscribed for the 6th month in a row. Thank you so much and welcome back to the House of Copper Hounds. Thank you so much to Ku and the other fans here for helping me to get into so many wonderful stories. Now when I read the Mo Shang Tongshu books, my mind reads them in your voice, Ku. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you so much. I saw that they're currently trying to get a Heaven Official's Blessing audiobook funded. Like, well, not funded. They're currently trying to get like a petition going to see if 7 Seas will be interested at all. And if they are, I've heard that there are 2 very good people who may be able to read it. Howard Wong and... Shit, I forget his name. We follow each other on Twitter. Howard Wong's the one who does Cuchallain in the English dub. And the other one, you know, fucking Hua Chung. Oh god, what's his name? Get you to voice it? No, them. Get the official voices from the Donghua. That would be so fucking sick. James Cheek. Thank you, James Cheek. It would be so sick if either one of them did it or both of them. Just give it to both of them. Also, Emmy Lowe, somebody who we've been like mutuals for a while on Twitter because she's voiced in a lot of the English dubs of Donghua. Incredible voice actress. Also did Rena Ryugu in Higurashi no Naku Koroni. But yeah, she just got announced as doing Banyue, which is great. That's a great character for her. The fluids thing is true. Bedroom shenanigans must be extra shiny. It must take a lot of cleaning at the end of every night. As long as they're treating her well is the important thing. No, what was the discussion about fluids? It was, we discussed that, and then we found out like that we discussed that because the tears thing happened before they revealed how young she is at this point. That kind of fucked us up a little bit. Oh man, Ye Wang-shi really said fuck this shit about. He did. He said, you two are fucking crazy. You protect her, bitch. I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna earn my honor. I got some real shit to do right now. I love him so much. Which one? Nang Gong-su or Ye Wang-shi? I'd imagine Ye Wang-shi. Although right now, either one's fair. They're both pretty fucking cool. Me bum, please. We're starving. Her official copy when? They just announced, like, well, at the end of December. So, oh my god, that was actually a full month ago now. Oof, time flies. Yeah, a month ago they announced that the English rights have been sold. I'm not sure if it's to 7 Seas or somebody else. That's the interesting thing. But we will be getting an official English release at some point. Ignore the rain sound effect. Okay. Thank you for the hydrate, though. I did actually just hydrate. What's the fluid thing about? Song Qiaotong, she's what's known as a butterfly bone beauty. I forget how it all puts together. She's some sort of half demon. tears at least are golden and glowing. And yeah, a lot of people seek after her to try and have sex with her because it improves their cultivation. And so there was a question of how many of her bodily fluids are golden, or if it's just the tears, if it's her blood, all of that. MX Mothman, thank you for resubscribing for the 6th month in a row. Welcome back to the House of Copper Hounds. It's lovely to have you here. And thank you so much for joining us for this read-through. Every day we're waiting. Someday we'll get the announcement. I think it must be 7 Seas since they just launched their whole danmei line, but we'll see. More and more high-level demons appeared, mixing into the crowd like daggers slicing open the stomach of the fish, peeling off its scales, glistening scales sticky with blood, rising and falling. It was every man for himself as the fiends surrounded the living, wanting nothing more than to devour each and every one of them, drag them into the infinite hells. Moran, Shimeng, and Shimei fought back to back against the demons in all directions, but the clearing around them was shrinking as the enemy closed in. There was a wet sound as Shimeng cut the arms off a fierce fiend, and foul blood shot several feet into the air. The attacking fiend saw that this person was strong, and so circled around towards Shimei instead. Shimei's hands were held in a spell sign, but his spiritual energy was draining, and the waterlight array flickered in brightness. Knowing that they won't be able to hold out for much longer at this rate, Moran made up his mind, saying, "Shimei, put up a shield array! Shimeng, get in!" What? Shimeng got mad immediately. "You telling me to be a wimp? Just listen to me and get in. Is this the time to be stubborn about appearances? Look around you. Think we can kill this many ghosts?" Shimei said, "Aran, what are you going to do?" Wow, that didn't come out. "Aran, what are you going to do?" "Don't ask so much. Just do as I told you." Moran gentled his tone. "It'll be all right." The circle around them closed in even more. Moran urged, "Quickly, there's no more time." Yo, Moran actually using his brain for once. It'll be very interesting to see if this backfires, because he is the dumb husky. But he's trying. He do be trying. Or eat. True, Miliok. They don't just want to have sex with her. They also want to eat her. You decide which one's more horrible. I mean, either way, not cool. Hi, everyone. Hi, crew. Yo, Daratrazan. Welcome to the House of Copper Hounds. It's lovely to have you here. First time chat. So thank you so much for joining us today. When we get her official, I want to know who the artist will be. That's going to be very interesting. I mean, there are so many great artists in the fandom that would be great choices. Be very interesting to see, because there's nobody I really follow who specifically does Erha fan art. A lot of the people that I know that do Erha fan art also do like other things. Whereas there are a lot of artists where it's like specifically like they do the Mo Shang Tongshu stuff. A brain for the dumb husky? Nah, never. Couldn't be. Did you notice Shimei has water element? I did. He's been using water shields all this time, and water be the healing thing, so that makes sense. Miss Matcha Blossoms, thank you so much for the 300 merits. That's so sweet of you. And those 3 pumping hearts. Moron with brain action? Sounds fake. Yeah, fake news. You ever met Moron? He's called the dumb husky for a reason. Made it. What's up, Hina Licorice? Thank you so much for joining us. That feeling when my Twitch app keeps crushing? Oh, I'm sorry, Revive. You could try opening it up just like as a desktop thing rather than on the app, like as a desktop website thing. No, a website thing on your phone. Just don't open the app is what I'm saying. I sometimes have to do that to actually do some of the functions like subscribing and gifting subs. Doesn't seem to work so well on the app, so sometimes I have to just open it up on the Chrome tab and then also tick the thing at the top right that turns it into a desktop channel. It's weird. It's weird. Anyway. Shimei could only adjust his hand seal to raise a layer of blue-colored shielding array around Shimeng and himself. Seeing the array complete, Moran pulled out the weapon hidden in his sleeve and swiped it across his palm to sprinkle the array with his own blood, making it with his spiritual energy. Then, gaze darkening, he called out in a low voice, "Get to work!" Jiangui flared bright at his words, each leaf ablaze with the glow of scarlet spiritual energy, like so many sharp daggers hanging from the willow vine, as it suddenly grew in length by tens of feet. Moran closed his eyes, recalling in his mind the sight of Chu Wan Ning unleashing his killing technique. And when he opened his eyes, in them were reflected the countless ghastly fiends closing in. My man is trying to copy the fucking 10,000 capture technique? He whipped Jiangui up high into the sky above, sparks erupting off the vine and raining down. Moron held up his arm, his sleeve whipping in the wind. In that moment, his silhouette seemed to overlap with that of Chuan-Ning in his mind, the two moving in perfect sync. Wind! A bust of force that ravaged the land and urged the very clouds above, pulling low the sky itself. Behind Moron, Shuimeng and Shimei watched as an enormous light array in scarlet bloomed like a red lotus from hell, fierce gales whipping the ground like formless blades, as Jiangui whirling into a blur in Moron's hand, sending dust and debris swirling into the air, the overwhelming force pulling countless fiends into the maelstrom and grounding them into mince. Chuan-Ning's area killing technique. Wind. Moron could already use it this well? By the time the tempest settled down, there was absolutely nothing left in the area. Both Shuimeng and Shimei were shocked. War-shocked expressions when Moron turned around. But he had no time to celebrate, feeling only that he was far from where he needed to be. If he had the cultivation level that he once did right now, something so trifling as a fracture in the Ghost Realm barrier would be nothing to him. Look over there! Someone suddenly called in the distance. Everyone looked up to see several contingents high up in the sky, riding in on swords from various directions. Each group dressed differently and shouted and blah blah. Okay, let's try this again. 1 second. That's a hydrate moment. Everyone looked up to see several contingents high up in the sky, riding in on swords from various directions. Each group dressed differently and shrouded by different spiritual energies. The heavenly rift of the infinite hells had finally urged the sects of the upper cultivation realm into action. The glowing swords touched down one after another, bringing a massive influx of reinforcements. Over here were the graceful and charming personages from the Rainbow Isle, and over there were the solemn and dignified monks of Wubei Temple. Finally, the 10 great sects were all present. Let's fucking go! The upper cultivation realm finally stopped being such lazy bitches, leaving it to the lowers and 1 or 2 sects. Yo, did you just say Shizusi? No. You can't make everything bussy. You can't have a Shizusi. There's no Shizusi. It doesn't sound right. What did we miss? Nothing much, Seb. Just the beginning of this. Moron has some pretty impressive techniques, but he's kind of embarrassed to not be as big as he was in his past life. No, don't slice your palm, you moron. Hey, he did good. He powered them up with his own spiritual energy. He gave them some more protection. He's doing good. He's even keeping Meng Meng safe. That's impressive. I would not have expected him to work so hard to keep Meng Meng safe. Shimei? Yes, 100%. He loves Shimei. The fact that he kept Meng Meng safe as well, like, that's expending more of Shimei's energy. And he's still fine with it. He's giving his energy to help that. It's crazy. But hello. What's up, Seb? Lilybones, thank you so much for subscribing for the 15th month in a row. Welcome back to the House of Copper Hounds. It's lovely to have you here. Did I see nerve damage? Who's talking about me? Could absolutely make everything ussy. A chussy. No chussy. Cool. Hey, Angry Mama Bear, how you doing? Chat better be good or we'll steal some bones. In what manner? That could be threatening or that could be sensual. Just gotta take away some of them bones there. Why are you like this? I didn't do it. Other people said Shizusi. I said no Shizusi. No. My message work. Oh, did you summon them? Seb dragged me over here with them. Yo. Will we keeping Shizun safe? I really hope Shizun's fine. Wanusi? No Chusi. No Wanusi. No Shizusi. No! You leave my Chuan-Ning alone. He's a sweet man. Leave him alone. The fuckusi. Okay, the fuckusi I'll fucking give you. Shemeusi? Now, see, that one doesn't even end on a sound. It should be like shusi. Shusi. Shusei musi. Shusi mei. Shusi mei. And that just makes him sound sussy. And he is sussy. Here we have Long Yi-chun having a discussion with his disciples. I imagine this would be how it would be. Yeah. We just have discussions about that kind of shit in the goddamn Throne room. Just going on for ages over dinner. There can't be a Shizusi, damn it. God damn it. This is what happens when Seb and Aleve and everybody else arrives at the same time. Let's go. Even stronger demons were crossing into this world, endless like swarming locusts. But with the sudden arrival of reinforcements, they were no longer so outmatched. At the same time, Mei Hanshui and Chuan Ning finally completed the spiritual transfer. The color of the barrier at the cardinal directions of the town changing from gold to blue. With Mei Hanshui guarding the borders, Chuan Ning rode the wind into the center of the battle, landing gracefully where the fighting is most fierce. He looked up at the rift in the sky, completely open by now, with some kind of immeasurable and terrifying evil vaguely perceptible from within. He could practically feel the entity's insane strength, as if it had drunk the blood and consumed the brains of millions. The barrier must be sealed now, or else that great evil suppressed within the infinite hells will break free and cross into the mortal realm. Chuan Ning couldn't help wondering if this was what the person behind the scenes was after, to unleash some kind of great evil from hell into this world. But to what end? Shizun! Shimei called anxiously after him. Chuan Ning turned towards the voice. Yo. Oh no, Moron's gonna be so worried about this right now. We were playing Pokemon? Were you all playing Pokemon Arceus, or were you playing like Poke League together? What is that even called? It is Poke League, isn't it? The one on Switch? I might be wrong. Chuan Ning and Shizuju. Both approve of Mei Hanshui. He should marry Shui Meng. He should. Shui Jingyong would love him. We the Xiao Stones. Xiao Stones or the Chaos Stones? Different people read X's in so many different ways. Because we're the Copper Hounds and this is the usual. Facts. Facts. We ruin things. It's what we do. We can either be sad, horny, or having a laugh. That's it. Those are the three things. Things seem to get better for a second. Well, now I'm worried. It's fine. It's fine. I think you mean Pokemon Unite. Yes, that's the one I meant. What the fuck is Poke League? I just made that up, didn't I? But yeah, I was wondering if it was Pokemon Unite. Has left the hyper-focus. Arceus is our new best friend. Arceus looks good. I have wanted to play that. I've been watching Alpharad play it today. It was also because of Alpharad I'd ever even heard of Pokemon Unite because they did a tournament. Anyway, I'm glad you guys are having fun with that. Highly recommend you to play it. It would be the first Pokemon game I've played in about 16 years. It looks like a good one to start on. Or the British one. The British one that came out like 2 years ago. Might try that too. We'll see. I have a lot more time to play games nowadays. Memories from the past life once again overlaid the present scene. Shizun! Shimei had called for him the same way back then. No, that got way intense. I wanted sad music, not intense music. Shimei had called for him the same way back then. Chuan Ning turned toward the voice. Shimei panted in the snow, covered in blood and grime, but his eyes were firm and determined. Shizun is going to mend the heavenly rift? But that's not just any fracture. That's a fracture into the infinite hells. How will Shizun manage by himself? Let me help. I studied the defensive arts at the Peach Blossom Springs. I won't get in Shizun's way. It was almost as if he could hear the exchange between the two so many years ago that determined life and death. Moron felt his blood run cold and his head go numb. Without warning, he grabbed Shimei and pulled him behind himself, then shoved him into Shui Meng, yelling, Shui Jiming, keep an eye on him! Look after him! Shui Meng's eyes widened. You going somewhere, mutt? The wind picked up, carrying with it the stench of blood. There was no flurry of snowflakes in the sky. At least some things were different from the last lifetime. Moron's gaze landed on Shimei, lost and hopeless, feeling his heart clench but then fill with relief. The barrier cannot be mended by Chuan Ning alone. But aside from his 3 disciples, no one else had the familiarity with his spiritual cultivation to work together with him in rapport. So one of them had to go. The wind whipped fiercely through the battlefield. Thousands of miles of desperate slaughter. Bracing himself, Moran pulled Chimay into his arms. It was the first time he'd ever held him like this, so openly and directly. He held him for a moment, and then abruptly pushed him away. Chimay, this time, I'm afraid the one that will have to die will have to be me. I'll go help Shizun seal the barrier, Moran declared in a tone that left no room for argument. Narrowing his eyes, he directed another deep, meaningful gaze at Chimay. Suddenly, he didn't care what others might think anymore. Didn't care that Xuemeng was right here. Didn't care that he might get rejected. He'd waited for 2 lifetimes, loved for 2 lifetimes, and now he was leaving and might not be able to come back. Standing in the ferocious wind, he wanted to say a few final words to his beloved. Chimay, actually, But just then, as he opened his mouth to speak, the roars of various fiends drowned out his voice. That momentary impulse, boiling hot like lava, grew cold in that momentary pause. And in the end, fizzled out. Aran, did you want to say something? A reflection from his past life flitted across Moran's eyes. He saw Chimay's gentle smile from behind the half-rolled curtain. How cruel it had been. It had stayed with him for his whole life until death, and it was everywhere that he looked. The rims of his eyes grew a little red. Moran grinned. Never mind. Good things can't be said twice. Chimay. I'm off to go help Shizun. When I come back, if I still feel like telling you. Dimples deep, gaze filled with love. I'll tell you then. With that, he turned and headed towards Chuan-Ning. Chimay won't die now. At least, he won't die in front of him. Moran suddenly felt as if the sky was more open and the ground more vast. He supposed that the figure in front of him, white robes billowing, will be the end point of his reborn life of his. God damn it. I'm getting really emotional right now. And then all the gifted subs happened and I was like, shit. Distractions. But thank you. Look, man. It may not be the ship that we like, but that was a really sweet scene nonetheless. I am proud of baby boy Moran. He's trying. He's trying. He's trying. Thank you for the hydrates. And Stoffel? Please tell me if that's a wrong way to pronounce your name. Stoffel, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much. And then also thank you so much for gifting out 5 gift subs. Holy shit. Thank you so much. Welcome back to the House of Copper Hounds. It's so lovely to have you here. And welcome also Minty Stars, Ami Yoshiko. Yo, Ami. How you doing if you're around? Tessin Humo, JM Doogie, and Cyber Elf X. Welcome to the House of Copper Hounds. It's lovely to have you here. And thank you so much for all the gifted subs. Ooh, and tons of hydrates. Thank you. Yo, Tots, thank you for the double hydrate. How are you doing? It's raining in chat. It's raining everywhere, man. Chuan-Ning is being cucked. At least he's not watching it this time. Chuan-Ning may be being torn to shreds right now. That's possibly what's happening. But he's not watching it this time. It's not like the fireworks thing where it happened right the fuck in front of him. Moran, best boy. No cursing, my boy. Yeah. Good things must be said 3 times. Well, he won't say it a second time. Oh, God. I don't think Moran's going to die. I'm worried Chuan-Ning is going to die in this fight. I think that's something that's probably going to happen because there's too many death flags on Moran. It wouldn't be right. And killing off Chimay here would just destroy things. Like, that's not the direction Moran's character growth seems to go. Yo, switch places? Yeah, he's switching in. He's like, Chimay, I'll die for you. And that way you can remember me. You can remember me and be in love with me for all of this life like I was in love with you last life. I'm willing to die for that. Oh, these babies are so sweet. Never cried reading her, so I'm just evil laughing at you all. Damn it, Miru69, how dare you? And then we board the Chimay ship. No! No Chimay ship! Meat Bun would be so angry with us if we board the wrong ship. She's told us that in fucking chapter 2. I think it was chapter 2. Yeah, it was chapter 2. Remember when we first met Shimei and we were all like, damn, this is so cute. It was so cute that Meat Bun had to literally say, hey, give it one more chapter. No, 2 more chapters. You'll meet the real ship. Okay. So Shaka, thank you so much for resubscribing for the 14th month in a row. Holy shit. Welcome back to the House of Copperhound. It's lovely to have you here. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy your stay. Moron suddenly felt as if the sky was more open and the ground more vast. He supposed that the figure in front of him, white robes billowing, will be the end point of this reborn life of his. His Shizun, who held the world in his heart. As Shimei lay dying for the sake of completing the mending of the barrier, for the sake of purging the rampaging fields, Chuan-Ning had ruthlessly chosen to leave. This time, the one to repair the barrier with him was himself. Chuan-Ning despised him so much, disliked him so much. There's no way he'd put down his esteemed reputation as the Beidou immortal to mind the life or death of someone as insignificant as himself. Shizun! He came to a stop in front of him, Jiang Gui glowing in his hand. The barrier is hard to repair. Let me help. The situation was dire. Chuan-Ning shot him a wordless glance in silent acceptance. He leapt up to stand at the highest point of the Chen Manor, with Roran following after. Okay, theory time. Pause this for a second. Now I feel like that was way too much suggestion of exactly what's going to happen. It feels like the way they set that up with, oh, there's no way he'd worry about him more than the world. He didn't worry about Shimei at all. He's just going to abandon me and let me die in the snow. That's what's going to happen, isn't it? No, the opposite is what I mean. He's going to abandon the world for the sake of protecting Moran. And the demons are going to be let out everywhere. And everybody's going to blame Shizun. Oh, no. And he's going to do it to save the man that he loves. Oh, God, this is going to be so heartbreaking. And then Moran's going to be like, why the fuck would you do that? You didn't do it for Shimei. Fuck you. Oh! I'm angry. Sailor Saturn, thank you so much for following. Welcome to the House of Copperhounds. It's lovely to have you here. And so Shaka, thank you so much for the 100 merits. Missed you. Glad to see you're back, even if it's for a short time. Thank you so much. Yeah, we back. And we buffer now. We're more manly. We can take on these painful Urha chapters. We'll get through them. Don't you worry about it. Shimei gets no love. He's boring. Next. Yo. Shimei's a good boy. He's just not our boy. It's like Mei Han Shui and Ye Wang Shi. It's like, they're good boys. They're just not our boys. Chuan-Ning spoke. Set the discernment barrier. Following his instructions, Moran moved in concert with him, one to the left and one to the right, the tips of their fingers glowing with the seal of the discernment barrier as they lifted their hands into the air in concert. Invoke! Their spiritual energy streamed forth from their bodies at the invocation, working in rapport and each holding down a vital grounding point of the array, using the surge of their cultivation to form a gold-scarlet barrier that expanded outwards. Any demonic fiends touched by the barrier would shriek as if burned and flee back into the eye of the ghost realm. The barrier grew clearer and brighter by the second, and below their feet rose a pair of coiled dragon platforms formed of spiritual energy, lifting the two of them high into the skies above. They are so in sync, so gay right now, that they managed to create a pillar out of their goddamn yang energy. That's pure sex energy right there. Let's fucking go. In the glaring gold and scarlet light of the barrier, the ghost eye slowly began to close. But as if refusing to yield, the resentful spirits within grew even wilder. The resentful energy spilling forth grew stronger with each inch of the closure, and by the time they were some 1,000 meters away from the rift, the corruption from within was practically palpable. In his reborn body, Moran felt as if a heavy weight was beginning to settle over his shoulders, like an immense rock weighing 1,000 tons was pressing against his chest, making it hard to breathe. Across from him, Chuan-Ning's spiritual energy was still strong and steady, streaming unceasingly into the barrier. 1 inch. Another inch. Shizun. As his consciousness slowly began to fade, he seemed to see memories from the past again. Shimei and Chuan-Ning working together to repair the barrier, and it was mere moments before the worlds of yin and yang would be separated once again. The vicious ghosts that were about to be deprived of yang energy once more saw that Shimei's side was much weaker. They gathered together and lunged towards Shimei as one. In only an instant, Shimei, who had been doing his best to maintain the balance of the barrier, was pierced right through. The scene replayed, almost exactly the same way. Only this time, it was Moran whose heart was pierced through by 1,000 ghosts. From the heavenly rift, a cascade of demonic fiends broke through the heavy clouds and punched through Moran's chest in an instant. Moran saw red before his eyes, and it wasn't until a moment later that he came to his senses and realized that it was his blood bursting forth from his own chest. Drowning in the suffocating stream, he strained to turn toward Chuan-Ning, only to be met with the sight of the man's pristine white robes and coldly impassive face, not even sparing him as much as half a glance. Resentment flooded his chest, setting into deep hatred. He fell from the coiled dragon platform, blood seeping from the corner of his lips, chest dyed a deep crimson. The fall took only a minute, but he felt like an eternity, like a drowning person sinking slowly to the bottom of the sea, never again to hear the soft whispers of the living world. Chuan-Ning hadn't lifted a single finger on his behalf, hadn't tried to stop them, couldn't even be bothered to glance his way. When he fell, the scarlet spiritual energy dissipated, and just like in the previous lifetime, Chuan-Ning chose to pour the remainder of his powers into the portion that Moran wasn't able to mend, and by his strength alone, forced the barrier shut with a thunderous bang. But the fiends left on this side of the gate, cut off from the yin energy of the ghost realm, immediately went into a frenzied rampage against the cultivators, mowing through countless of the living in mere moments, utterly annihilating the formations of several sects. Chuan-Ning descended. When Moran fell, a layer of light had formed beneath the coiled dragon pillar to cushion his fall. But his whole chest had been pierced through, and blood pooled on the ground beneath him, no different from Shimei back then. Chuan-Ning beat back the fiends that rushed towards Moran, and with a backhanded wave, dropped a protective barrier around him. Shizun. This person behind him murmured quietly. Are you leaving? Moran coughed out blood, but there was a grin on his face. Are you leaving again? Outside the flowing golden barrier, that person continued to stand with his back to him. Moran opened his mouth, but his throat filled suddenly with the taste of iron. Chuan-Ning, are you made of wood? You don't know what it is to feel sad, to be selfish, do you? Chuan-Ning. Chuan-Ning. His vision blurred. He was covered in wounds from the battle. Blood streamed from a cut on his forehead, flowed into his eyes, and as he threw his head back and laughed with abandon into the skies above, laughed as if he'd gone mad, bloody tears fell down his face. His voice broke on a sob. Chuan-Ning, look around. Look at me. Are you really going to leave? Would you look at me one last time? I'm dying. Back then when it was Shimei, you at least spared him a glance. Do you truly dislike me this much? Look down on me this much? Why else would you refuse to look at me just this one last time? Why won't you turn around? Shizun! His eyes brimmed with blood and tears. The last thing he saw through the golden barrier was the back of that lone person's white-robed figure as he walked away to go suppress demons. So in the end, it turned out that in his heart, there was no one else less important than Mo Wei Yu. Shit, that's real fucked up. I'm putting that back on actually. Ow, choking on water. I feel bad because I'm pretty sure the reason Shizun didn't want to look at him is because he's so fucking heartbroken right now. And he doesn't want the person he's in love with to look at him while he's dying. Oh god. But at the same time, I'm really surprised he didn't give up on the whole world for Moran. I'm not gonna lie. Wow. It would have been fucked up, don't get me wrong. It's much more in character to be going to save everyone, but fuck. So sad. Having him just lay there on the ground and being like, ah, oh, you hate me that much. I don't even get a look. At least fucking Shimei got a look. Oh, man. It's okay. I know what is happening, but listen to what happening is just, yeah. Maybe that's it. Maybe he's going to, like, get some item that will save him to grab Shimei. Shimei has healing powers. Chu Ning doesn't. Maybe he'll grab Shimei and say, Shimei, do the healing thing. Just save the Moran. Eat yourself in the blanket fort. Yeah, that'd probably be good. Don't forget to drink water, everyone, or we might die because of all the crying. I'm not crying yet, thankfully. It fucking sucks, but so far I'm holding strong. So far. Don't choke, Ku. Couldn't help it. Literally choked on my emotions at that point. And yes, this will be chapter 97, the final chapter of book 1. I think something is up. Chu Ning loves Moran more than anything. But does he love Moran more than the entire cultivation? Well, the entire world. Shouldn't even just say cultivation world. Everyone would die to the demons. I'm pretty sure he would give up his own life to save him. But the question is, can that do anything? Because that's what I'm worried is going to happen. Is he's going to find some way to use his last bit of spiritual power to bring Moran back. But how do you even do that? I mean, if nothing else, he clearly needs to leave to do it. He's going to get something, but we'll find out. Chapter 97. This venerable one. Oh, that's fucking powerful as well. It's like the idea of Tashi Jun like fading away at this point. Dying a second time and not even being able to think of a chapter. It's just like, fuck. This venerable one. Who gives a fuck? Oh, it's fine. Who do we think this is? I'm gonna lie to myself and say that this is fucking Chu Ning. Moran? Moran. Someone seemed to be calling him. He opened his eyes, bleary and dazed, to an unfocused white silhouette. Vaguely, he felt as if this person looked like Chu Ning. But at the same time, he also didn't quite dare to believe it. He felt that person's hands folded over his chest, channeling an unbroken stream of spiritual energy into the wreckage there that was still bleeding non-stop. So warm. Who? He blinked arduously, trying to get a look at that blurry figure. Moran? Shizun? He fought down the blood welling in his throat to ask in a murmur. He felt something warm and wet fall on his cheek. Slowly, his vision cleared up enough to see a pair of phoenix eyes, softly beautiful with a hint of melancholy like the apricot blossoms of Jiangnan, against a face that was deathly pale and stained with blood. Moran was at a loss as he stared dazedly at him. He'd never seen such an expression on Chu Ning's face before. His Shizun had always been coldly impassive, but the person before him now was crying. Moran reached up with a hand, wanting to touch, wanting to check if it was real or just the hallucinations of a dying man. But the tips of his fingers, mere inches from that person's face, he paused. Sometimes, hating someone was a kind of habit. If suddenly he shouldn't hate him anymore, then he wouldn't know what to do. He didn't dare touch. He was afraid it might be real, but also afraid it might not be. Behind Chuanning, he saw mountains of corpses and oceans of blood. He couldn't quite tell if it was the battleground at Butterfly Town, or if he'd already gone to hell. He was well aware that he'd committed countless evils, had sinned irredeemably, that he belonged in the infinite hells, never again to be reincarnated. But Chuanning, he was a good person. Why would he be here with him to suffer an eternity in hell? Just a little more. Chuanning's voice was distant and hazy, as if uttered through the depth of an ocean. You have to stay awake or else. He watched blood seep from the corner of Chuanning's mouth. The golden light grew brighter and brighter until the person before his eyes was suddenly enveloped in the blinding glow, turning into the form of a child. Or else, you are no disciple of mine. Shashidi! Chuanning turned into Shasini right in front of his eyes. Moran was so shocked that his wound suddenly blazed with pain, and he passed out again before he could process a single thought. Moran. A voice so soft it was almost a sigh. He didn't know if it was a hallucination of the past life or a lingering murmur by his ear. I'm sorry. It was this master's fault. This again. This again? Chuanning, I don't want you to apologize. I want you... To what? He faltered, not knowing what it was that he wanted. If he didn't want him to apologize, then what did he want him to do? His eyes shot open, breathing harshly, clothes soaked through with sweat. Moran looked up to see a clean, tidy room sparsely decorated. He was back at his room in Sushang Peak. He actually lived. Disbelievingly, he glanced around himself, then raised a hand that was a bit cold to feel the injury on his chest. It was wrapped in several layers of bandages. Blood had seeped through the gauze and dyed it red, and it hurt a little when touched, but underneath, his heart was still beating rhythmically, powerfully, beating with the promise of the rest of his life. He lived. He lived! Okay, I think we all know what happened here, don't we? This motherfucking Shizun gave up his own heart to Moran to keep him alive, didn't he? Moran's gonna be like, Shizun saved me. Oh, I need to go find him and thank him. And then he's gonna find out he died. Ah! I swear to God. And that means... Oh... Because I get the whole Shizun turning into a child thing. He was using all of his energy. But he probably did also give him, like, his core, right? His heart. Because Moran had already been pierced the entire way through his chest. His heart would have been destroyed by that point. Oh, no. Blood coursed wildly, powerfully through his youthful body, making the tips of his fingers tremble, thrumming through his very soul. He heard the sound of curtains being lifted. Moran looked up from where he was sitting on the bed and came face to face with the beauty that had just entered. It was probably cold outside. His long black hair cascaded loosely over a white mantle lined with fur. And when he lifted those soft, bright eyes, there was a faint redness at the corners, more beautiful than any makeup. Shimei hadn't expected Moran to be awake already, and started a little before saying, Aran, you... Shimei. Shimei! Moran called his name a bunch of times, eyes bright and glittering like obsidian. He jumped off the bed, ignoring the protests of his wound, and grinned toothily while throwing himself on Xi Mingjing, hugging him tightly, ecstatically, repeating over and over, I'm so glad! You're alive! I'm alive! It's over! It's all over! The Heavenly Rift had been the greatest calamity of his past life. Fiends and demons had descended from above, taken Shimei and pushed Moran into the abyss of sin. It was the one thing that had kept him constantly on edge after rebirth, fearful that it would happen all over again. He would be left all alone again, treading on the bones of those he had once loved and cared for on the lonely path towards an empty Wushan palace. But the heavens were not unkind to him. And everything had changed when he'd stood up, willing to die in Shimei's place. He won't be all alone anymore, abandoned and rebuked by all. Won't be forced to Liangshan Mountain in the dead of night, henceforth a lonely wanderer. From now on, the curse is broken. He had truly escaped the nightmare of his past life now. Truly been reborn. Moron clung to Shimei for a long time before letting go, his eyes bright like fireworks glittering like the night sky. Shimei stood there, dazed and unmoving, while Moron wrapped his arms around his shoulders and looked down at him smiling. They stayed like that for a long time before Shimei slowly broke out of his daze and leaned in on his own accord to press his forehead against the lower side of Moron's jaw. Aran. When Shimei lifted his face, he wore a faint smile, but his eyes were a little wet. I'm so glad you're okay. Smiling, Moron stroked his hair and took his hand in his own, reassuring. Silly. Of course I'm okay. Why wouldn't I be? Before he could say more, the curtain was lifted again as someone else strode in. Shuimeng? What a petty guy, probably still upset that he got outdone at the Butterfly Town battle. He wore a sullen expression, and his lips were pressed into a thin line. Seeing Moron up and about, he only paused for a beat before turning to speak to Shimei. When he wake up. Wait. When he wake up. Shimei hesitated for a moment before answering, his voice sounding a little worried. Just now. I see. Shuimeng acknowledged, still refusing to look at Moron. Moron thought to himself, look at this little brat, soaking so much just because he got showed up? It's like he got his candy stolen or something. But he was in quite the good mood, so he was willing to overlook it. Smiling, he said, looks like I was out for a while, huh? Who brought me back? Who else? Shuimeng flung his sleeve and folded his hand behind. Of course it was Shizun. Ah. This is so fucking painful, man. Everyone feels so bad. Moron doesn't even know yet. Moron hasn't put it together in his mind. If Shizun was alive, he would not have left Moron. This is fucked, man. And you just know Meng's gonna end up screaming at Moron and blaming him for Shizun's death. I'm not liking this. Moron was taken aback by his words, fragments of blurry memories from when he'd been drifting in and out of consciousness passing before his eyes. He was just so overwhelmed with shock and elation now that he was awake, that he was even less sure if things had been back then were real or not. He mumbled, Shizun, Shashidi. Hearing his murmur, Shuimeng jerked almost imperceptibly before saying stiffly, So, you saw? What? That Shashidi is Shizun. Moron was still only guessing, and his entire face went pale at being suddenly told outright like this. What? God damn it, I can't do voices right. I'm fucking breaking down here. Shuimeng's head snapped toward him, a strange expression on his face like he was using all that he had to keep something in check. What? I thought you already knew. Moron yelped. How would I know that? When I was drifting in and out and it was all blurry, I thought I might have seen the two of them overlapping. He thought about the time he'd spent with Sha Suni at the Peach Blossom Springs, the two of them sleeping in the same bed. He thought about when he lost control at the Rainbow Isle, the golden hair clasp that had fallen out as he tore at Chu Wanning's robes, and the handkerchief embroidered with a high tang blossom. Clothing that grew and shrunk with its wearer. The little jar of chicken soup held tightly in Sha Suni's arms. The way he'd looked up at him and called him Shushang, and how he had patted him on the head, grinning as he said that we'll be brothers from here on out. Shushang will dote on you. One after another, the memories materialized before his eyes, and then scattered like smoke. Now it was Chu Wanning, his face impassive, expression much too cold. And now it was Sha Suni, his lips pressed together, refusing to talk. He'd once said to Sha Suni that Chu Wan Ning was no good, that he disliked him. He'd once patiently brushed Sha Suni's long hair. His hair was so soft, flowing between his fingers like liquid ink. Now that he thought about it, they really were so much alike. Moron felt like his head was going to explode. He paced in place, back and forth, muttering, Shizun is Shashidi? Shizun is Shashidi. I can't, that's... Shizun is Shashidi? Shizun is... He came to an abrupt stop, almost crazed. You've got to be kidding me! How could Shizun possibly be Shashidi? Aran... Moron didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Sure, they're pretty similar in a lot of ways, but they're not the same in the end. Shashidi is such a good person, how could... The hell do you mean by that? Shuimeng caught him off, pinning him with a sharp glare. Shashidi is such a good person? So what, such a good person cannot possibly be Shizun? Moron countered. Of course I'm not saying that Shizun isn't a good person. It's just that Shashidi has always been so sincere with me. And I basically saw him as my own little brother. How am I supposed to just accept you suddenly telling me that he's actually Shizun? Shuimeng snarled. Shashidi is sincere, huh? Is Shizun insincere then? Oh god, I can't do his voice right now. Fuck, man. Oh, world collapsing, reality breaking for the dumb husky. Damn straight. This is fucking painful to read. He doesn't know he's dead! I didn't remember he said that. Yeah, he's saying so many mean things about him continuously. Moron, I like you, but really you're so dumb. He is! Oh, God. Maybe Shizun's not dead. Maybe he's just really weakened. Maybe he's got to be, like, trapped as a baby forever. Maybe... Oh, the last brain cell of Moron. He's trying his best. He's trying his best. This is the chapter where Shuimeng became my favorite character. Damn. That's strong. I need to remember his voice. His voice is like... Shashidi is sincere, huh? Is Shizun... No, that's still kind of Moron. Is Shizun insincere then? No, I don't remember his voice anymore. I can't do it. God damn it. I can't get the angst in his voice anymore. It's fine. It's fine. Hearing the temper rising in his voice, Shimei hurriedly tugged on his sleeve. Young master, remember what uncle said. Harun just woke up. But Shuimeng shook him off, his brown eyes still fixed on Moron's face. So infuriated that even the vein in his neck was throbbing, looking like a hissing viper just about to sink its venomous fangs into its prey, ready to devour. Mo Wei Yu, you better explain to me right here and right now. Why can't Shizun be Shasidi? Why does he lack sincerity, huh? Tell me clearly, which part of him is fake to you? The flood of demanding questions only annoyed Moron a little. After all, it wasn't like he hadn't seen Shuimeng pissed off before. In the last lifetime, Shuimeng's temper had been more or less like this in every single one of their encounters after he became Emperor Taxian Jun. But still, it was irksome. Moron frowned and snapped. What's it to you? That's between me and him. Between you and him? Shuimeng repeated. Have you ever even thought about him? Moron was so mad he laughed instead. The hell is your problem, Shui Ziming? Seriously, when'd you go mental? Come on, Shimei. Let's go to Loyalty Hall. Maybe Uncle and Shizun know what's up with him. He brushed past Shuimeng to leave, pulling Shimei along. Shuimeng stood rooted in... Oh, pulling Shimei along. Shuimeng stood rooted in place for a while, as if trying hard to hold something down. But his restraint cracked as Moron was just about to step out the door and he ripped around, roaring. Mo Wei Yu! Have you ever spared a thought for the Shizun of yours? Moron only felt even more agitated. His steps halted, originally cheerful and relaxed brows drawing low into a scowl. Shimei squeezed his hand, whispering uneasily. Don't mind him. He's been a bit irritable lately. Come on, let's go. But his hand only just made contact with the curtain. Hadn't even lifted it yet when Shuimeng's voice rang out again, stifled, inflamed and distraught, like it had leapt out of a fire. Mo way you fucker! You piece of shit! The curtain dropped back down with a swish. Moran closed his eyes, then opened them. Moran? Shimei tried to pull him back, but was gently pushed aside. He turned his face, and then his body. The two of them were about the same age, but Moran was already taller by a chunk, and he could look quite cold and menacing when he wanted to. Moran suddenly smiled, but his black eyes were deep and without the slightest hint of a smile. He spoke. So, I'm a piece of shit now, huh? Shui Ziming, I've never treated Shizun with anything but respect, nor did I stand by and watch at the Battle of the Heavenly Rift. The barrier to the Infinite Hells couldn't be mended by his strength alone, so I stepped up to help. Let me ask you, as his disciple, have I done anything wrong? My strength falls far short of his, so I wasn't able to hold out to the end when mending the barrier. I fell from the coiled dragon pillar, but he didn't even spare me so much as a single glance, uncaring of whether I lived or died. Let me ask you again. In my shoes, would you not feel bitter and disappointed? Moran! Finally giving voice to the thing that had been eating away at him for 2 lifetimes, Moran's handsome features twisted into something dark as he spoke of his sore spots. He forced out each individual syllable, slowly and clearly enunciating each word. As I see it, I've done my duty and owe him nothing. What gives you the right to stand here in front of me and call me a piece of shit? Shui Meng, do you think I've never cared for him? You're wrong. I have. But he's made of stone. Moran continued in a low voice, every word like a knife to his heart, drawing blood. Shui Meng, listen to me. I don't care what a powerful cultivator he is in the eyes of the world. What a prestigious Zhang Shu that he's Yuheng of the Night Sky, Beidou Immortal. None of that's important. What's important is that at the Battle of the Heavenly Rift, I nearly died, but when I begged for him to look back, spare me a glance, he wouldn't even give that to me. It was such a chilling, enraging thing, but he was strangely calm as he spoke of it. Only his eyes were a little red. At Shui Meng, I can guarantee you, no matter who it was falling from the pillar back then, even if it wasn't me, even if it was you or Shimei, he wouldn't have saved you. Because I saw it with my own eyes. He had turned and left his own disciple's body to cool in the snowstorm that filled the sky. There's nothing more important than his good name as the Beidou Immortal, after all. Moran sneered coldly. Maybe it was the poor lighting, but he looked a little forlorn. You'll live if you're lucky. Die if you're not. His last word was still lingering in the air when there came a blur before his eyes alongside a rush of wind. The room was narrow and Shimei was behind him, so Moran couldn't dodge even though he sensed it coming, for fear of letting him come to harm. So he stood his ground and took the blow. Shui Meng lunged at him like a cheetah, gripped him by the collar, and a loud "pa" rang out in the air as Shui Meng slapped him across the face, holding nothing back. Getting slapped out of the blue like that? Moran's temper flared as well. He twisted his wrist to seize the raging youth, snarling through gritted teeth. Shui Ziming, the fuck do you think you're doing? Shui Meng didn't answer, instead roaring, Mo Wei you bastard! He had absolutely no interest in talking it out, rampaging like he was on something with no sense of reason to speak of, getting into a brutal brawl with Moran right there in that desolate little room, going at each other's throats like a pair of trapped beasts, like they wanted to rip each other to threads, tear one another apart and swallow the other, blood, bones and all. A single lamp flickered in the room, casting their maddened silhouettes against the wall of stone, like a shadow play of beasts tearing into one another, like a picture of raging demons. Fuck, man. This is getting really powerful. I thought that this would be over in like no time at all. I thought that we'd just have like 2 minutes of Moran being an idiot and then someone would tell him, bruh, Shizun's dead. And you can see how much Meng is trying to hold back. And you could see Shimei saying to him, Uncle said. So clearly Shi Jungyong was like, yo, for the love of God, do not tell Moran that Shizun died bringing him back. It will halt his healing process. It will fuck him up. And Meng's doing his best to hold true to that, but really wants to say it. Really wants Moran to realize just how fucked up it is that he's talking bad about him right now. How much you want to bet there are people with melon seeds watching this go down? This is fucked up at this point. I think there would be people genuinely try to jump in and be like, yo, kids, no. He's a real phoenix now? Oh yeah, his feathers are all ruffled. He has grown beyond Peacock. Peacock versus Husky, who would win? I think the Husky would win a fight, but he's incredibly injured right now. Peacock could probably give him a fight. Oh man. Suddenly, Moran heard Shui Meng choke. Oh yeah, we're gonna get it now. Suddenly, Moran heard Shui Meng choke back a sob. It was so quiet that he thought he must have heard wrong. But just as he thought that, several drops of tears landed on the back of his hand. Shui Meng suddenly let go of Moran and shoved him away, then curled up on the ground, wrapping his arms around his knees and started bawling miserably right there. Moran's cheek was still red and swollen, but he was utterly stumped at this turn of events, thinking that it wasn't like he'd actually pulled out any deadly moves. Surely he hadn't hurt him that bad. And besides, it was this cousin of his who threw the first punch to start with. Why all of a sudden... He was still puzzling it over when he heard Shui Meng's voice, screaming hoarsely between broken sobs. How could you say that he didn't save you? How could you say that he didn't save you? Tears rolled down his cheeks, impossible to stop. To the side, Shimei saw that Shui Meng couldn't keep things under wraps after all. So he sighed, and looking down, said no more. Shui Meng choked out between sobs. He'll be so sad if he heard you say that from down below. Underworld equals hell. Everyone who dies go to the underworld. Oh, that's so fucked. Those words were too sudden. Moran couldn't quite process them immediately. He asked in a daze. What? Shui Meng only kept crying. His venomous fang had pierced into Moran's neck, but it had also pricked himself. He wept so miserably, so brokenly, wiping desperately his face, at his eyes, his gaze flickering between ferocity and sorrow. He wouldn't get up from where he crouched on the floor. He stayed there with his face buried in the crook of his arm for a long, long time. Moran felt a slow numbness climb up the bottom of his feet till his entire body felt frozen. He felt his lips move, heard his voice ask, Shui Meng, what did you just say? Shui Meng cried for a long time. Or maybe it wasn't actually that long at all, only that it felt far too long to Moran as he waited for that thunderous jolt of an answer. Shizun, Shui Meng finally choked out. He's gone! For a moment, Moran had nothing to say. His whole body felt cold. Distantly, he heard the words, but he couldn't seem to understand them. Gone? What do you mean, gone? Gone where? Who's gone? Who's gone? Who's gone? Shui Meng lifted his head slowly. There was hatred in his eyes, and mockery, and the deepest pain and loathing. Do you know why he didn't look back? Father said that sealing the heavenly rift took all that he had. Did you think you were the only one struck by the fiendish energy of the ghost realm? The discernment barrier is twinned. Whatever damage you took, he suffered the same. It's just that he endured it and said nothing of it to anyone. Moran felt a droning between his ears. When he didn't save Shimei in the previous lifetime, was that also because... Moran didn't dare finish the thought. The tips of his fingers trembled. No way. But... he was so poised. When had he ever been anything but poised in front of others? Fresh tears welled up and overflowed in Shuemong's eyes as he spoke. All of his spiritual energy had already been exhausted by the time he came down from there. Why do you think he put a protective barrier around you and left without looking at you? Shuemong's words dripped with tears of blood. Shizun knew that he couldn't hold out for much longer. His cultivation was high, so all the fiends would be drawn to him the moment he showed any weakness. Moran! Moran! Did you think he left because he abandoned you? Moran. He left to protect you! Mow you! So that you wouldn't get caught up in that! Yo, this is fucked. Oh, I didn't even fucking realize that. The whole fucking Shimei paused. I didn't realize that he'd felt all the pain that Shimei had. He feels everything the other person does. They're sharing energy. So he was as close to death as Shimei in the first lifetime. He almost died in this lifetime. Oh, fuck. I was already feeling bad because this is so perfect for Shizun's storyline. The whole idea that nobody ever sees him as weak. Nobody ever pays attention to his needs. That everybody just sees him as a weapon, as unstoppable. And fucking Moran not understanding that his Shizun could possibly be dead. Could possibly have been that badly hurt. Oh, fuck. Why must this be my first time here? Yeah, you picked a bad day. You didn't even look at Moran because Chuanin couldn't look at the man he loved being hurt. And he would have stayed behind. Exactly. And if he showed any weakness, they would have leapt on him too and killed him. And then Moran would have been done for. Instead, he put a protective barrier on Moran and went to get help. Fuck me. Forget about the new model. Welcome, Silverfrost279. Thank you so much for resubscribing for the 6th month in a row. 6th month. Forgot about the new model. Yeah, he's sexy. We in crying times right now. Meatbun character writing. Yeah, I know. Meatbun has been planning this, plotting this, adding all those Chekhov's guns since chapter 1. It's so fucking good. Shizun said it so many times. And he would have been so happy to die for Moran as well. That sucks. The fiends went berserk when the infinite hells closed. The battle dragged on till nightfall. Countless were killed or injured. Who had time for you? Even my father didn't know you were gone until he was already back at Sushang Peak with an injured Shenji elder. Shuemong paused for a moment, breathing harshly, before forcing the rest of his words through the tightness in his throat. Who are you? He was the one who brought you back. He was the one who took the pill that lets him recover his original form so that he could pull you from the bloody wreckage. From the mountain of corpses. He was the one already covered in wounds himself, but still gave you the last remnants of his spiritual power. Fuck. You think there's any fucking sadder music than this? This is fucking heartbreaking music to me. I don't really have much sadder than this. I guess this would do. No way. He was the one who brought you home. You were still unconscious and his spiritual energy was completely drained. He was no different from an ordinary person at that time. Couldn't use any techniques at all. Not even a communication spell. He could only carry you on his back and climb up the stairs of Sushang Peak, step by step. No. Over 3,000 steps. He... without any spiritual power... Moran closed his eyes. He could almost see under the pale moonlight Chuanin carrying himself as he was on the verge of death, climbing slowly up those endless stairs, white robes stained bloody. That person had been so distant and unreachable, so pristine and untarnished. Beidou immortal, you hung of the night sky. Moran's throat felt tight and his voice shook when he spoke. No way. How did he? I wondered the same. Shuemong stared into the distance at a loss, the rims of his eyes red. When I saw him, I thought that surely I'd gone mad, that I was seeing things, because I was also thinking. Beside the rest. How did he? No way. Moran suddenly let out a sob and clutched his head, murmuring helplessly. No way. stairs are still stained with a trail of blood. That's the road he took to bring you home. Shuimeng's hatred made him ruthless. Go look for yourself, moron. Go look! No way! Shock and helplessness beyond what he could bear sent Moran into a rage. He grabbed Shuimeng without warning, pulled him to the ground. Gotta get better music for this. There we go. He grabbed Shuimeng without warning, pulled him up off the ground and slammed him against the wall, his face twisting into something bestial. No way. No fucking way! How could he have saved me? He's always disliked me. Always looked down on me. Shuimeng said nothing for a moment, then suddenly grinned miserably. No way, you. It's not that he looked down on you. In the flowing candlelight, Shuimeng lifted his eyelashes, clumpy with tears, and leveled him with a gaze filled with hatred. It's that I look down on you. Moron. I look down on you. Shenji Elder looks down on you. Tanlong Elder looks down on you. Who the fuck do you think you are? Shuimeng chewed up the words and spit them in Moran's face. You son of a bitch! You! Shuimeng burst out laughing all of a sudden, tilting his head back to look up at the dim ceiling. Moran, out of the entirety of Sushang Peak, the one who thought the most highly of you was him. But this is how you've paid him back. He laughed and laughed until he squeezed his eyes shut and tears began to fall again. This time, he wept quietly. Moran, your Shashidi, my Shizun, is dead. Moran had been bitten by the worst, most venomous snake in the world. Startled, he abruptly let go as if burned and stumbled backwards, finally understanding these words for the first time. His entire body began to tremble. Shuimeng suddenly called to him. Gah! Moran continued backing away, but his back collided against the ice-cold wall. There was no escape at all. Shuimeng finally stopped crying, but his voice was flat, like he was dead. Gah. We don't have a Shizun anymore. Oh, he called him fucking Gah! Mong is broken! Mong is broken! Oh, fuck! Oh, that's a fucking... Yo, that's the end of book 1! That's fucked up. He called him Gah. That's... Mong, 100% broken. Momo was dying. His voice was dead. Yeah! He can't have any emotion right now. It's all gone from him. He was so angry. He was so sad. He's so absolutely broken that he can't feel anything anymore. He doesn't have any hatred right now left for fucking... Oh, Moran. He's just straight up like, Gah. He's calling him Big Brother. Fuck, that's fucked up. He would have never done that. Too much pride. Lost all his pride. Broke him as a fucking character. Oh, Gah, we don't have a Shizun anymore. That's gonna fucking kill me. Bonus suffering? What are you sick fucks doing? Big white cat's talking corpse, thanking JJW. Fuck. Thank you everyone for joining us on this journey. I'm dead now. Have fun. Pup. Just crying in the corner. Forget it. Pup 1.0 is glitching right now. 1.0 OS corrupted. Give him some time alone to digest the truth. Mong, you do it. Shame Mong. Yeah, thanks. My Shizun's dead. Isn't that fun? Thank you everybody for joining us on this journey. Look forward to book 2 in the future. Yeah. It's fan art. Oh, I can't click on it then. This is fine. This is fine. I figured that's what it was when it said bonus suffering, that it was like either fan art or like a fan song that showed the scene or something. The first one is not. Is the first one official? Can I click the first one? As a blind person, having someone with so much voice range reading is amazing. That's very sweet of you. I have no range whatsoever, so thank you. But to have you read these emotional roller coasters, God, thank you very much. I'm now broken forever. That fucking killed me too, man. Mong Mong. Mong Mong calling him Gur has to be like that. Oh my God. That's one of the best pieces of like just showing how broken a character is. Like, you could say the emotions out of his voice. You can have him. He went absolutely insane before that. He took the whole gambit of emotions, being so sad for his Shizun, so pissed off at Moran, so angry to that point where he was straight up like, bitch, he may have just been your Shashi D. He was my Shizun, and he loved you, and he died for you. Oh man, going from that to just being like, he's gone. He's gone. And he really was. That's the thing. Every other teacher looked down on Moran, but at the same time, every other teacher just sees Mong Mong as the peacock child, does not see him as his own person, would never tell him when he's actually doing wrong, would never actually berate him, would never train him properly. And that's why he loved Shizun so much. Shizun was so real with him. Shizun was his proper teacher, a father figure, when even his father is a bit light on him. Go look at it your own at least. Oh, cosplay? Oh, no. If it's somebody else's content, I can't open it up on the stream. I will look at it later. I will make myself cry. Feel like it could also be that it's so many emotions at once that it just kind of merges into a... Yeah, that's 100% what it is. Especially when you lose somebody that you love that much. It does happen to that. That's 100% what happened to me when my father died. I remember like screaming into the phone trying to get an ambulance there. And then going through all the questions and doing like, check this, check his pulse, is his body still warm, and getting through it bit by bit. And then that was the fucking crushing part. The part where it was like me not realizing that's how fucked up you are when you've just lost someone. Going through the questions and responding to them, no, he's not got a pulse. No, his body's not warm, it's cold. And them essentially saying, he's been gone for a while then. And me still not understanding at that point, just screaming, get the fucking ambulance here. Oh, man. And then, yeah, within about 5 to 10 minutes of that, it's just blank. Crying for ages and then just a void for like the next 3 days. Where I just traveled to my brother's house and I think slept most of the time. Fuck. That's how you feel when that shit happens. It breaks you. It breaks you completely. Even after all his justified anger, he calls him Gur for the first time. It's his brother. They're going to go through that pain together. He just couldn't contain it. And he was so... Moran didn't know what he was saying at that point. He was defending himself. He was still angry. He literally said it. I think that's the thing. Even at that point, Mong Mong realized, he was like, you thought he abandoned you? He didn't abandon you. He was trying the hardest fucking for you. And he realized Moran didn't get that at that point. That Moran had never understood how much he loved him. Man. That was a really fucking good chapter. That was a really fucking good end to the book. And thank you for all the hydrates. I think this is where we're going to end this one for the night. I think that's a good ending for it, honestly. Because it's a cliffhanger. I don't know what's going to happen next. I don't know if it's going to be sad or if it's going to be like Moran running away and just trying to find a way to fix it. Like, I could have seen that. I honestly can't see what's happening right now. I can't see if Moran's going to grieve, going to feel bad, going to go find his Shizun, give him a proper funeral, or if he's just going to run off into the darkness and just needs some time to himself. I don't know which way it's going. But I think now Moran will finally start his redemption journey. He better not fucking stay dead. Are you fucking kidding me? That's the one thing. I don't want Shizun to stay dead. I swear to God, if... What if the whole book 2 Shizun's dead? What if he never come... He can't never come back. They have to fix it. That's the thing. I'm the same fucking way as Moran right now, where I'm like, no... This doesn't fucking end here. We're not going to have a redemption arc here. That's not the storyline for this. This is a love story, goddammit. Oh, man. There's enough emotions for me for one night. I need to lie down. Yeah, I think that's the kind of way that I'm feeling, where that's like emotional devastation. And I kind of just want to lay in bed for a while after that. I'm really worried about how long it's going to take Shizun to come back. I think he's coming back. But how? How? Are we continuing to book 2? We are definitely continuing to book 2. May even be tomorrow, or we may leave it like a few days. Worst case scenario, like it'll either be tomorrow or Monday, because I'm sure I'm going to recover from this in like an hour or two and want to jump into book 2. That's the sad thing. When you hit something like this, you're like, I need to lay down. And then as soon as it comes back to me, I'm going to be like, oh, I really want to start book 2 now. But for now, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, no. We need to let that sink in for a while. That was just amazing writing. The fucking over 3,000 steps. That's what's happening. That's what's got to happen. Moron is going to go. He's going to copy his exact journey. He's going to go all the way down the steps to wherever the blood trail began. And he's just going to finally let it sink in there and cry on the ground, isn't he? Oh, fuck. I feel like that's what's going to happen. It's finally going to sink in. Oh, he did love me. He did everything for me. He was probably trying to do the fucking same for Shimei. Oh, we're going to get a flashback to that, aren't we? What if Moran ruined? What if Shizun was going to give his life up for Shimei too? Oh, no. That's real love? Yeah, that's fucking sad. Grieved for 4 hours and started book 2 with tears. That's what I want. I kind of wish I had money right now. I might go get some fucking wontons. Wontons would be good right now. They'd be extra salty from all the tears. But no, I already know what I'm having for dinner. God. When I finished book 1 for the first time, I cried so hard that my roommate had to take me out for ice. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling right now. I need to eat my pain away a little bit. And then I need to lay down for a good long time and just think about it and continue thinking about, like, I imagine that's what he's going to do. After Mongbong told him, you go see. I imagine he's going to follow the blood trail just continuously. Head empty, just, Shizun can't be dead. There's no way Shizun's dead. And just like follow it step by step down all 3,000 plus steps to wherever it begins and just be like, no, I'll find Shizun at the end of this. My Shizun can't die. It's Chuaning. He can't leave me. Only I can kill Shizun. Oh, which he technically did. Oh, that's got to be an even more fuckery thing. No. He said in his past life, nobody can kill you but me, Shizun. Only I will kill you. I'll fuck you to death. And he technically killed him by being too weak. Oh, he's going to feel so fucking bad. Okay. With that said, we're ending the stream here. Yeah, that was collective pain. I'm glad you guys are all here with me. I didn't cry too hard. If we had done those last 4 chapters in a row, oh man, I don't know if I'd been able to get through them. Fuck me. Still haven't seen how he died, how Chuaning died the first time. I thought it just basically said that Moran had like broken him. I guess you're right, we didn't know for sure. Fuck. When you make more sad to max the pain. After finishing book 1, I decided I can't wait and speed read it until it got better. That's what I'm worried about. Like, I was always thinking in my head, okay, Chuaning's dead, but he'll be back in like a chapter or 2. And then I'm suddenly realizing he could be gone for a fucking while. There could be a whole fucking Moran 1.0 lifeline. I don't even know how he's going to react to this. He can't go as dark as he did in the first timeline, right? Like, he can't turn against the cultivation world again, right? This is why I like this sitting for a while, to think about this, to cry a little bit, and to think about what's going to happen in the future and hope that it does get better. But with that said, let's see who we can raid on the way out. Zelda's doing odd again. That's nice. But we did raid Zelda what? We'll raid Orihime. Orihime's playing some Apex Legends. She did my logo that I so rarely occasionally use. Wonderful streamer, VTuber. Please check her out. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope you all have a wonderful night. Dumb Husky no longer has his white cat. He's a wild card now. That's the thing. He might be even darker than Tashi and Jun. Now that he realizes how fucking important his shizzle should have been to him. How much he fucked up. Oh, God. Good night, everyone. Good night, Ku. Hope everyone has happy dreams. Hugs to Ku and everyone in chat. Honestly, everyone, I'm sure anyone who's reading this the first time with us is feeling terrible right now. So just like me, go get some food. Have a nice lie down and chill. We'll be back either tomorrow or the day after to continue this journey, and it's going to be a fucking painful few chapters, if not a very long time. But either way, thank you guys, and I will see you guys next time. That's really fucking sad, man. Thank you for sharing the House of Copperhounds raid message. Thank you for the little cry, Ku. Thank you guys. God, that's one thing about these stories. You never have to fake cry. They always bring those tears up in you. Have a good night, everyone. I'll see you guys next time.